die before we start, though.
Okay,
but if you have nicotine...
Yeah, I have that, too. So, whatever you...
Brought to you by addiction.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you. It's going to be on camera. My girlfriend's going to yell at me, but... What that she was like, I hate when you vape because I feel like it gives you, like, impotence. Like, she said I wasn't as hard. And I was just like, no, it's just your attitude, dude. Like... Maybe some encouragement, you know?
Girls
like,
don't understand that, like, like, you know, even though guys are very sexual beings.
Aren't we all? Aren't all women, too?
Yeah, but, like, you know, they like to think that they have, like, a monopoly on emotions. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, they don't think that, like, oh, I've made you upset. You're probably not going to get hard. You know what I mean? like,
oh, I yelled at you about 2 dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be slightly skinnier.
Yeah. Not as thick.
Whew, this is a good head rush, man.
Yeah,
that's what I like about it. I feel like it helps me narrow in a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
The weed's too spacey.
You, what you been up to recently?
Being a dad, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm an official stepdad. I've lived with my girlfriend now for damn near a year.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, I love it because, like, I feel like monogamy, it's not rare, but I feel like it's hard and people don't like to commit. And
I don't think it's necessarily monogamy. It's just relationships, which... A monogamous one, I feel like, is the only one that really works.
Yeah, but like,
there's a few wackos out there maybe that can make it work otherwise. But I think it's the sheer person to person and one person you live with constantly, wake up with, go to sleep with. You got to learn to like actually talk about things. You can't let shit fucking simmer in the background and then burn.
Yeah, you gotta work on things. And then like the other thing is too, it's like you were bringing up like, you know, poly or whatever. It's like, you know, those people, it's like you get to...
Bro, even they have a hierarchy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, you can kind of like, oh, this person doesn't like this thing, so I'm going to go get it somewhere else. As opposed to you just compromising and being like, okay, I'm not going to get this here.
Yeah,
because,
it's like lesbians, and then they're like, "Oh, I want some meat again," you know. Like even vegans crave a hamburger, dude. Like that's not a fucking
dude. It's so real. There are some vegans that want that hamburger. You know,
just fucking think about that meat, dude. And
then you see them eating a hamburger, and they're like, "Don't tell anybody. They're gonna judge me." I've been this ally for people against meat for so long.
It's reverse closeted.
Yeah,
it's just like it used to be. You ever seen F is for Family?
Yeah, I've seen episodes. Yeah.
Okay, so there's this one lady that has a very clear like gay husband,
dude.
It's like the stereotypical like disco guy with the big ass fucking mustache. He kind of looks like me. He's like super flamboyant, like very clearly gay. And sometimes that's the same thing with vegans. They just are stubborn. They want to prove a point. You know, it's just like I know you're nutrient deficient, dude. You need some vitamin D. Like,
I took care of some guests at this restaurant one time, and I could tell.
And then you served them food?
Yeah.
You took care of them, and then you served them.
But the husband, you know, they were older, so maybe it was like at this point it was just like accepted because like there's no like I don't know. I know feminine, like I've seen feminine men, but this guy was over the top, you know. Talking with the hands, his voice was like a high.
Sure he wasn't European, dude. He wasn't a Swedish guy. Like...
Could have been. He was wearing a scarf. So like
he's fucking Nordic. That's what that is. That's...
French. Just like, but yeah, his voice was like an octave higher than his wife's, and yeah, like you know, I don't know. It just seemed. I was like, huh. I was like, this doesn't.
What if it turned out he'd been in an accident, dude? He just
got
stuck
shit. With a gay voice.
No, yeah, his wife choked him a little too hard, dude.
Dude, I remember when I was little, dude. I used to think that like gay people all came from a certain place because they all had like the same accent. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then I grew up and I found out it was Canada. No, I'm just joking. No, but you know because. That's the only, like, why do they all have similar?
God damn.
Why do they why do they all have like the similar accent? I don't know.
They all want to be black women, dude. They steal their culture. Fucking...
Dude, I heard that.
Yeah, dude.
There's like a timeline of like slang and how it works. It's
dude.
Black people start off with it, and then the gay people pick up on it, and then the
white guys.
Yep, the white liberals pick up on it, and then everyone's saying it, and then it's not cool anymore. So then they gotta find another word.
Yeah. And all we're trying to say is
yeah. That's probably why they don't want us saying it. Because then
I meant us, dude. I meant Mexicans.
Because if everyone's saying it, then they have to come up with another word.
Yeah, it does lose its impact, but it only works. Like it's the same way that like if a woman calls you the F word, you know, that stings a little bit more than a guy. And same thing. If a black person uses an N word, especially hard R, you're like, oh fuck, you know.
Exactly.
Like shit's getting real. But Mexicans have brownie points. Like so it's like
I love seeing a video, dude, and also just like every time I used to have like Mexican neighbors, dude, and like everyone, you know, once they start drinking, dude, it starts everything.
If we're dark enough, like me in the summer, I could say it and people would be like, wait, can he? You know? Like,
well, and that's like the thing too, is that I also know people from Mexico whose like aunts and uncles and like grandparents are like would be considered black.
Yeah, there's a lot of Afro-Latino.
So it's like
still like it's the same way. I think where we lost it was because Dominicans were. Have you seen Godfrey Smith, the papi? I know black. Like that shit is so common, and yet Cubans, Puerto Ricans, a lot of people from the Caribbean co-opted it, used the word, and then didn't want to be associated with being black, which is like, it's ass backwards. You can't have it both ways. If you want to be able to use it and you're like, this is part of my culture, you got to accept it. Like we're all the fucking transatlantic trade, dude. It brought everybody together. Like all that whole region of like Eastern Mexico along that coast to the Caribbeans is like a mix. Same thing with like fucking South America. Like it just, we're all slave ports. So it's like, you in some way have it. And when 99.8% of all like the indigenous populations to Mexico were completely wiped out, we were populated by everybody else. So it's just like nobody fucking knows. And, you know, you ever seen a light skin that's like only a quarter light skin, and you're like, that guy's fucking white. You know, it's like it's very
logic.
Yeah, dude. Bleach. A little bit of bleach goes a long way, dude. It'll take you out,
dude. What was I was just about to ask, but then my dog's barking distracted me.
Your dad instincts like,
what's wrong? Like, shit, no. But so what were we talking about? We were talking about the N word. Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
That's why you spaced out. You were like, oh shit, I'm not allowed to talk about this.
I can't say. I gotta stop myself from saying it. That's what I'm doing. I'm stopping myself. I've never ever felt the need to say that word.
You don't like rap music?
I mean, yeah, but even then, like, I don't know. I feel like you can get around it.
You can get around it.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't hit the same, especially like with like a J. Cole song, you know, because then you're missing like, you know, a minute of the song. Just like
yeah, you can just like you can do the whole radio thing where they like flip it and like it sounds like zigging.
Ooh,
zigging, zagging, you know, just shucking, jiving, or you could say youngin. But when I first saw the abbreviation YN, I thought it meant youngin, and they were like, no, it means young. I was like, oh fuck. So slippery slope there. You know, you could be, depending on how you choose to try to say it, you could be misinterpreted. So you might as well just.
Now I remember.
Bop along.
Now I remember who, because this was going to be my next thing, because you were talking about like how everybody keeps co-opting it, and I feel the same way. Like when you look at the history of like different white people, it's like the same thing. It's like Irish, they used to be really hated upon, Polish and whatnot, Italians, people, you know what I mean? So it's like, who's the best whites?
Ah, fuck.
Who's like the all-time white?
I feel like this is you got to look at the people. Well, first of all, if you look at the Epstein case right now, this is how we get into
Dun
it.
dun dun. Who's Master White?
Dude, a lot of it's still central to Europe, Western Europe in particular, and Great Britain. All those dynastic families, like they were the dukes of fucking Scotland and Ireland and fucking like all these areas, right? But it was a few families. They were all like distant cousins and fucking each other. It was like, you know, fucking 1300s to 1700s. There was a huge concentration of power in predominantly the UK.
Yeah.
They also have connections in Switzerland, you know, like in Amsterdam in particular. Like there's some back and forth. And Amsterdam owns Africa. Western Europe owns like all of the West. It's got to be somewhere in there, wherever they came from. What are
So it's like, so you have like English, but they're not impressive.
English, Scottish, Irish? And I'm not saying this is mine. I'm saying this is the world that they created. Okay, mind you, the hierarchy that they've created, I think, starts with some sort of Anglo-Saxon. That's the only, and that's British, but also like they're derived from some Scottish people, some, you know.
Interesting. Like, where do you like? Because like, I feel like the Eastern Europeans, those are like, they're looked at like as dirty. They're like Russians, Polish. They're like, you
they're
guys,
like mountain people, dude.
Yeah.
They got like fucking ran through by the Ottomans, the Byzantines, dude. There's
so
the Mongols. Like,
so maybe maybe the Germans.
you think?
Maybe. I mean, maybe they
100
had it.
years ago, 100 years ago,
Maybe they were onto something. They're like, we are the better of the whites.
Nah, dude.
Who? So wait, because Russians, they're pretty badass.
That's if you're asking me my rankings, I probably think Russia's up there as far as like most badass whites. Like, it's like if I fear a type of white, I know that there's a reason, and that Russian, Eastern European, for whatever reason, even though maybe that's why Western Europeans try to demonize the Eastern, was because they were scared of them, because they're big people, dude.
Yeah,
they're fucking hardy. Yeah, they got tough winters. It's like a war-torn area, like from. Just look at history and the amount of like routes that go through there, dude, and they got fucked.
The biggest war generals in the world try to conquer them and they couldn't.
Like, and then there's the sheer fact that like the Russian front during World War I was fought through them. The German, like, they're just like in the crossfire, dude. They constantly.
And then I heard that they pretty much won World War II. Like, most of the battling was done between that.
Yeah,
like that was where most
US
of the casualties.
Hardly did shit, dude.
We showed up on a beach. You're like,
we got there. Everybody was knocked. The
raining.
last dude was one shot, dude. Fucking wow. Oh, victory royale, and it was fucking thanks to everybody else. The fucking 100,000 Russians that would die damn near daily.
But we still respect everybody who's served our country and has done it proudly.
Oh, no, for sure. We sure do.
But the Russians are better.
I would just say I don't think Russia's got a fucking decrease in their testosterone, dude. Their taints aren't shrinking. Fucking, they microplastics. They eat macroplastics.
Yeah, dude.
They fucking swallowing dildo. No.
Dude, yeah, but so Russians, best whites for sure. Who's the worst whites? Who's the worst whites?
Probably the
I
billionaires.
can talk about this, guys.
The billionaires.
The billionaires,
That's probably the worst whites.
But like where are they from? Is that like
Western Europe?
The Western Europe part?
I think predominantly conservative there. Or what's your higher? I'm on camera saying this. So when I'm labeled a domestic terrorist, this is gonna be why, dude.
They're like make sure we keep an eye on that Tony Cruz guy.
Hey, do you have facial recognition software? This is fucking Tony Soprano saying this. Just forget about it.
Just forget about it. We're talking here.
Hey, we're just trying to talk over here.
No, but I would agree. I would say that Russians, they're tall. They're, even like this, like not the stocky ones. Like, they're just like they're all tall and slender. And I know that my uncle, I mean, it's not Russia, but like Belarus. My uncle's wife, she's like almost 6 foot.
It was at one point the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah.
Belarus. Or is that like sacrilegious to say? I don't.
They were all, yeah.
Yeah.
That's also a crazy thing too to think about, that like there's like a whole lore over there that we just don't understand. Like, and also then like when you go and look at history, then you find out that like a bunch of the stuff against, and not just like communism, but like against like the Soviet Union was against like communism because they were trying to say, hey, communism's bad, Soviet Union's bad, you don't want to be a communist. And so like it's kind of crazy that there's like this whole thing that we don't actually really know what happened over there. We know that like a bunch of people died.
Yeah,
but like I wasn't there.
Yeah, but you could take a good guess. And
Yeah.
it's like the same thing that's always it's happened in Mexico when they nationalized corn and oil. Like anytime,
Like what's happening right now with like the NATO stuff.
right? Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
you know what I mean? Like there's like this whole history where it's like Vladimir Putin saying one thing, and then the U.S. government for all these years have been saying this other thing, and then it's like, well, actually,
So
that makes sense. It's like when you hear him out, you're like, well, actually, maybe we should leave him alone. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, the truth has to be in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like we exist in a fucking society that has both capitalism and socialism. People want to deny it, but I don't fucking pay the firefighter. They just show the fuck up, you know? It's like same thing with the police. There's certain social programs that we need that are inherently socialist. It's fucking Social Security.
Yeah.
Fucking disability. All this shit that people want to rag immigrants for when we don't benefit from it, but we pay into it. Different subject.
Yeah.
The point is that there are these social programs in place on top of a capitalistic society. Where it falls short is that oligarchs, just like corporations, will take whatever they can to get as much out of as many people as possible. And so you just squeeze the fucking life and capital out of the system in the same way that a corporation can lobby in the U.S. Russian oligarchs can just fucking pay to have whatever the fuck they want done, right?
Yeah.
Because it is in some sort of de facto, you know, capitalistic corporate government there. The same here. They just are a lot more forward about it.
Yeah.
Fucking cartel down in Mexico, they were birthed because of the way that the U.S. fucked the economy down there. They nationalized, they became semi-communist, and then they fucked the people out of all their resources. Then when somebody comes in and offers them employment the same way the fucking Russian oligarchs did for all these fucking, you know, revolutionists,
Yeah.
then you create an army of people who are indebted to you, but you also gave them a way out. It's like...
What are your views right now on like what's going on here? Because I hear.
I think okay. This is it bridges
Dun, dun, dun.
it bridges this though, because for fucking years since the time I was a kid, my parents and other people's parents would talk about taxes and this, and then in history we learned about taxes and all this shit the government fucking taking, right? Mm-hmm. We create a society that is supposed to be a republic, not just a democracy, a republic, because not everybody has the same vote, but also we don't all contribute the same shit.
Yeah, not
California
everybody's
is
voting.
different than Texas, than Massachusetts and Ohio. Everybody gives different shit, but so we have to create some way to bridge that. But what every national sort of government body has allowed is corporations to really have the ultimate say. When free speech is your dollar and you uphold that decision, then that means inherently the people with the most money have the most speech, the most power, the most driving force. And again, they set up that society to keep squeezing people. Like, think about this, Japan, right? Japan has public transit, they have public health care. Their society is so much more forgiving to a person who needs more resources than ours. Why don't we have a public railway system? Because when we had railroads, the fucking monopoly it created then transferred to rubber and cars and this whole industry of forcing people to have to live in a certain way with cars and transportation, making everything spread out.
Isn't it crazy that they started off that way? They started off making us like buy stuff, and now they're trying to make it to where we can't own stuff.
Well,
It's kind of weird. It's like
a subscription model, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the World Economic Forum saying you'll have nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
You'll own nothing and be happy. It's like, yeah, because that's
with
what they
video
want.
games, it's the most frustrating. You know, as somebody who just like wants to like have fucking fun on a video game, it's like, dude, why can't, like, you know, back in the day you could just buy a game, pop it in, and then, you know, even in the later stages, like when I was like in high school, you'd have to update. But that was about it.
Yeah.
Now it's like you have to. Now you put in the disc. It has to download the whole fucking game because that way they can shut it off. You know what I mean? Because if you have a disc that you can just pop in and play, they can't. There's not really a thing that they can like. There's not a thing in the code that they can be like, oh, make this unavailable for this person.
Yeah,
but
close the servers.
Yeah, because you're just reading a server that's like sending the information. That's why they make you have Xbox Live and all this stuff.
Yeah, and all the shaders and the graphics. It's like all that data is not in the game. It's all part of your PC that downloads everything else. It's
and
like a zip file, basically.
Yeah, and then it started with the microtransactions, and now it's getting to the point where it's like now you buy a game, and it's like, all right, that was part 1. You want to keep playing? Yeah. It's like buy part 5 through 7.
What's the same in society? And you could argue, though, I mean, some corporations are necessary. Apple affords us iPhones and all fucking computer equipment here is a result of corporations and collections of people pulling their capital to deliver more and more. But you can't stifle innovation. You can't like fuck everybody else over, and you can't take away the ability for the people that you are making the products for to also have a role in making that product. For example, phones. If we manufactured phones here, yeah, sure, maybe they'd be fucking, instead of $1,000 or $1,500, maybe they're $7,000. But guess what? Maybe we make a phone that lasts for more than 2 fucking years before the software on it's such that it's too far gone and we can't actually update it, and you got to go get a whole new phone.
It's like by the time they put out a phone, it's like they already have the next 3 phones lined up. Yeah. And then I also this was kind of late for me to find this out because I used to like build computers and stuff like that. But like, processors, the whole i9, i7, and stuff like that. It's all made from the same thing. It's just whatever has more deficiencies becomes i7, i5, and whatnot. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was all made like the same thing. But then it's like, oh well, this one's more perfect than this one, so this one's an i9. I didn't know that. And then they're like, this one's $3,000, and then this one, because it is an i7, is $300, and you're just like, well, how does this even work?
Yeah, and I mean, TVs are a good example. At one point, the fucking huge ones are super expensive, and now they're just so good. So yeah, that's great, but also think about how many TVs you have to go through now, or like when one breaks, or the fucking apps crash, or the memory's full, and you can't, or it just dies. It's just same thing with cars, dude. Classic American cars aren't the same. You fucking bump into it, dude, and the whole shatters. I mean, crumple zones and all this other shit for safety, but I just think the simple fact that all that money is being collected and then held onto instead of put back into the system that it's seemingly drawing from makes it such that that system can't continue to pull. It's supposed to feed both ways, but if you're just draining other people's labor, fucking China, immigrant labor, what have you, or even IT support, like fucking India, dude, the amount of fucking jobs we have overseas, and people are like, oh, I just want to talk to somebody who speaks English. Like, well, yeah, you fucking voted to allow this, though.
Yeah.
Like, you don't, people don't think, hey, I'm going to get on a fucking whole spiel about this, but people always talk about Democrat, Republican, all this bullshit. And it's like, why the fuck don't you just think, hey, maybe I can vote for everybody and anybody, multiple different people. The ballots, when you go to a fucking general election or a fucking primary, whatever the fuck, like they have multiple people that you're voting for. Maybe you do some critical thinking for yourself, or you listen to somebody who fucking does. God forbid you make decisions off memes and believe whatever the fuck people tell you.
Yeah.
But if you had some sort of informed, like, oh, okay, here's a quick checklist of 20, 30, 40 different people, bullet points of what they give a fuck and what they don't, maybe people could pick and choose a little bit better. But it's so fucking hard to pay your bills and like, do everything else in society that when it comes down to vote, people go,
does it say R or D?
Yeah,
R or D?
Left or right? Yeah. 1 or 2. It's so fucking stupid, but I understand it, though.
And then the other problem is that, like, you vote for these people, and it's like, do they even do the things that they said they were going to do? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is that you have to look at the money. And if you look at who people's donors are, then you know how they're going to behave.
You'll find that they're all the same person.
Yeah, that's a fucking real fact, dude. How does Palantir have the amount of power that it does? And it's because they made fucking contracts with both sides. It's it's set up that way. And if you don't like it, then don't vote to keep those people in office, whether Republican or Democrat. But people don't know. They just go off the bullshit that is on the news or online instead. It'd be nice if maybe fucking blockchain was the ledger that we all had access to that told us, hey, by the way, here's all. Hey, click on this fucking senator and look at all the people they're linked to.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to vote? How do you think they're going to treat you and what you give a shit about?
Maybe that's why they have tried to like not have cryptocurrency. Like for a while.
When you can't be anonymous and everyth's like locked, like some fucking, I think day before yesterday or last week, the day before, last week, the day before Trump announced a couple things. It was like 500 million of one crypto whale wallet that deposited into his account, like allegedly. I have to look at this again because I just hit the shit and I shouldn't have. I can't recall for shit. Anxious about it.
No, you're good.
But if you can track all that, we don't have access to the bank's information. We have access to crypto. We can see all the blockchains and ledgers that those are on, unless they're in hard wallets, and in which case, yeah, sure, people would have to exchange it hand to hand, but at some point, in order to get that money out, it has to go back online into the ledger.
Yeah.
A little different than, oh, your money's in the bank's doing whatever the fuck it knows in the background.
Yeah.
But I don't foresee any institution or people in power being cool with that. And going, we'd like everybody to know what we're up to.
In the Epstein files thing, everything's
Perfect
coming out.
example.
Yeah. And then it's like, you're like, who, everybody's a part of this. Everybody is somehow involved with like, receiving money or hanging out. And then you're just like, why are all of these people doing this? And also, why are we allowing them to do this? That's the other crazy part. Is like, my thing is like, what do we do? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, does it get violent? I mean, that's the thing is like,
hasn't it always though? And that's the scary part. That it's like most people don't.
It's like everybody knows, but everyone's like, I don't want to be the first one.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is like. but then also though, that's the thing is like, who are you fighting against?
I think,
that's the other thing too.
But also in what kind of violence? Because you can have, you don't have to have physical violence.
Yeah.
You can withhold your money. That's economic violence. Sanctions against other countries or tariffs against other countries we're seeing as an attack. They were seen as a fucking violent sort of thing. It is antagonistic. It is a way of saying fuck you.
Yeah.
So you could do that, but I think a lot of people are scared to say, no, I'm not going to pay my taxes this year.
Yeah.
And how do you convince 300 million people?
Well, and the thing is how do you not pay your taxes?
Yeah, because then they come
like, it comes out of your paycheck.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
They garnish your wage. So you'd have to get the employers on board.
No, I'm just saying that, like, in general. You know what I mean? Like, every week you get your paycheck. They're already.
I'm 1099.
Oh, okay.
I get fucked. I have no benefits. I just get fucked. So, that's another thing, why?
Well, because like servers typically, depending if like how much money they make, they'll have to owe like taxes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like what? Just like not paying taxes. Didn't Greece do that, and didn't they fall apart? I'm pretty sure.
Didn't that fail? That's the thing.
I think
that's the risk you take.
I think it's like I think that's
beautiful waters though.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember what happened, but I think that was like one of the things that happened.
Economically they got fucked because I think it fucked with their tourism. And then that tourism really dropped, and that's where all their money comes in from.
Okay.
And they got fucked.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you live on the beach, how high is your overhead? You don't really need much.
My thing is that what would it be for like, not like the federal government to like fall apart, but like, you know what I mean? Like the states already have like a whole government and everything. The United States somewhat in a way is kind of just like a UN or like a NATO if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So like why like, and I get it, the whole states' rights thing, then you're gonna have like somebody's like, we're gonna bring slavery back, and you're like, you know what I mean? And then you can't stop it. But then it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it would be like, because you were talking about like, Republic and California is different than Florida or whatever, and Ohio's different, so it's like, what do we do in order to like make it the best for each place? Because it's like ideally we're doing that now.
Yeah,
but like,
but we're not, because what is the thing that's best for people is
yeah,
that people always bitch about are jobs and economic opportunity, affordability for fucking housing.
yeah.
How many fucking empty buildings are there just sitting there, whether they're apartment
Well,
buildings or commercial buildings?
how many of those apartment buildings are like no dogs? Well,
Yeah.
that's fucking why you're empty, you fucking dick.
Well, but I mean, even commercial buildings and like shit that's already built, just
Yeah.
structures that are being otherwise unused, just
Yep.
collecting fucking dust. And if you turn them into a way to extract money by taxing them because people live there, maybe you make more out of that. But like, it's like a fucking multi-part thing, and it's like the way that I guess you spearhead that is by pulling the resources that you need, which is capital, from corporations. You have to tax them. You have to provide some sort of way where they can't get around all these fucking loopholes or, subsidies.
Yeah.
Because that's bullshit. We pay for it. Think about fucking Walmart, dude. Like EBT, they were protesting that shit because it literally is responsible for a fifth of their fucking earnings. If $1 in $5 comes from the government, how incentivized are you to actually keep your prices down and fucking make it to where people can afford you? You're not, because at least you can make it 20% higher and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
You got the fucking government paying for it.
Yeah.
And that's just an abuse of the system that's in place. How do you fix it? I don't fucking know, because it's multiple things in place.
Yeah.
It's jobs, it's housing, it's affordability, but then it's also things like technology and advancements. Why the fuck is college so goddamn expensive for all these people who are aware this is bullshit, you're not going to need this job? If you were to say, hey, this is a tech school for people to get certified, and maybe they hire some sort of way, or they bring in people like immigrants who they're going to hire anyways, and you bring them in and you train them, you put them through school, they get certified in their fucking profession that nobody else wants to fucking do, then great. Now we have somebody who's not only licensed but is invested in the fact that they have to pay a certain amount for the life that they were afforded. Like, it's shit like that it's like, social programs used to be a thing, dude. Like, homeless people didn't used to be on the streets. It was fucking shutting it down and then pulling all that money. It's like, okay, and now they just die on the streets and we have fentanyl everywhere. Like,
yeah. Do you think it'd be pretty easy to launder money through like construction?
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, it happens all the fucking time, and not just laundering. I was straight up theft.
I was wondering, because I'm wondering if you're saying that we are building a lot of buildings that aren't being used like everywhere. Columbus has a few that like we're building, and who knows when they'll be used. But it's like, I wonder if that has anything to do with like maybe people are moving money that way. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. I mean, it happens both ways. People from the U.S. buy in other places, or people in other places, particularly China, buy real estate here.
I hear that that's happening a lot, where a lot of our stuff's getting bought up by Chinese stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I was gonna go off on a tangent. There's so much in this, but I guess
how much of it do you think is like our fault? Not like specifically you and me, but like
culturally, it's a
like
big problem, dude.
Like, do you think that like if we had a little bit more responsibility on like just like behalf of like making sure that our kids were eating better, or making sure that what they were teaching in school was like correct, staying educated, so like when your kid comes home and it's like, Dad, I need help with my math, you can like sit there and like help him out, like do you think that part of it could be that like we have tried to offset a bunch of responsibility onto these corporations and they've kind of taken advantage of that?
Well, a lot of them have say in the school system and how things are presented. Like there's a whole connection with Epstein and that McGraw publishing company, right?
Yeah.
And culturally and entertainment, they have a big way of like shifting the culture. You could argue that it is an individual responsibility to
and maybe they pushed us
and
that
then
way.
Filter it. But I think it gets harder and harder the longer you're here in the U.S. Like culturally, if everything just gets so normalized, like I was trying to work on a bit for this because I'm gonna get off track. So first, I'm gonna stick with your question, because you could teach your kids to eat healthy and raise them to be respectful and courteous, but their success is still dependent on a society that rewards a sort of parasitic, imperialistic sort of thing, that the higher you move up in management, the less you do, and the more cushy you are. It's most of the people that are at the bottom of the pyramid that are the working class are the ones that support corporations, whether those are people at the very bottom of blue collar work, like plumbers and electricians and painters and lawn care and masons, all the people in construction or service, fucking bartending, serving food, all that shit, to the people who are technically at the bottom but are white collar jobs like doctors and lawyers and fucking managers and salespeople and low management and even just front office personnel. Like all these people are technically still on the same playing field between $0 and $500, $600, $700,000. And then there's the corporations and the millionaires and billionaires behind them who have a completely different set of tax brackets and rules, and most of the rules apply to them. Most of that money is stuck in them. So this isn't anything new or radical. It's just wealth disparity is a real thing. Most revolutions are because of that. So if you don't want the whole system to collapse and you want to help it, you have to make it known that you would like for these people not only to be held accountable, but also liable to the financial responsibilities, the social responsibility with the amount of connections to Epstein and all this shit. Like, obviously these guys were in some shit. So maybe let's hold them accountable. Maybe it doesn't have to wait, or we don't have to wait for Europe to be prosecuting all their people before we start calling our representatives and calling everybody else. And there's a lot of people in Congress that are good people that are probably going to do it, for themselves. But the more that the everyday person pushes back and says, hey, this is genuinely pissing me off. Like, whether you're a farmer in Arkansas that lost all his fucking money because you thought, I'm going to kick out my immigrants in my workforce and, the government's going to come save me, and then they buy your farm for fucking 60% off. Yeah, you might be pissed off because you got swindled. Or if you're the fucking most liberal leftist barista who's like, oh, hey, I'm going to unionize and get money back, and then Amazon finds a way to make money by selling data and do another stupid shit that makes you still get paid less, but they continue to make more on the tax breaks or on the shit that they're fucking selling. Like, it's just, the whole game's fucked. Yeah. And it's like, how do you break it? I don't know. Yeah. Like, it's so layered.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like we have all these people who government, like they block patents, or like when somebody comes up with something like, water running car or something like that. They're like, this is government property now.
Hey, this is going to shift the paradigm. We can't have this. It's like, that would literally make our society so much better.
Like I do kind of wish that life was a little bit more like punk, or or the city was kind of like the country, where it's like in the country, you go out in the country, you see people doing crazy shit to their vehicles or doing stuff to their yard or whatever. I kind of wish that, I get why we can't, in some way, might make a mess, maybe, but like I kind of wish that like there was a little bit more freedom, where it's like, oh, you want to try to make your car run on water, like you should be allowed to do that, and try to accomplish that. And if you succeed, you should not be blocked by the government to like try to like help other people to do that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's so funny because I used, like, if I had heard this in college, I'd be like, yeah, right, dude. This dude just wants to fucking cook meth in his fucking trailer. Yeah. No, dude, it's alchemy. You mean chemistry, you dumbass? No, dude, I'm like a fucking magician, dude.
You ever seen that black guy that makes diesel fuel out of plastic?
No, that's.
Yeah, I don't know where he's from. I don't know if he's like from Michigan or Alabama or Atlanta. Yeah. Atlanta maybe. But yeah, he found a way to like
biodiesel. Yeah, I remember this. There is a common way now that's known, but it's like the only way that's known is because some fucking people were like, "Hey, shout out, this advancement. Let's make it accessible."
Yeah,
but I guess
maybe that can get rid of some of the plastic. I don't know.
Yeah, all of those are good ideas. The issue is that there's incentive to stifle it. Like the whole if somebody is the competitor and they see an idea that's gonna fucking cripple their industry, they stifle it. Like it's the same way back to the railroads and cars, dude. Yeah. It's just like if we had just adopted mass transit, we wouldn't need cars. People wouldn't be fucking dying in car accidents. But we think, oh, that's normal, that's acceptable because our society depends on our ability to get from point A to point B in a car. And like there's other places you can go to. If you ever visit Chicago, dude, so many people that live in the actual city don't have a car because they have no fucking need. Just public transit, and you're walking, and sure, you might be exposed a little bit more to dangers here and there, but you're also exposed to the dangers of some fucking idiot texting and driving all the time, dude. Rush hour is fucking crazy. People die every day. So,
well, and then you have like the people who are like, you know, Warren Buffett, who are like, oh, I'm rich because I take the subway and I don't buy McDonald's or.
No, that's bullshit, dude. He's rich because he was able to profit from a system being stocks that primarily favors people who own.
And then he shorted the dollar in another country. I don't remember where it was, but he like crashed the dollar or something like that somewhere.
Oh yeah, dude. And anytime people in finance fuck things up royally for themselves, they get bailed out. Like this thing is not real. It's all like,
dude, how awesome would that be if like every time you fucked up, you're like, oh my God, I'm $20,000 in debt because of credit cards, or oh my God, I just went to school and I can't find a job. Like, how awesome would it be if you could just write the government a letter and they're like, all right, forgiven.
You're good, bud. Like,
and my thing is like, like, you know, I guess there is a lot of people that, you know, are out there, you know, who probably can't pay their stuff back, but it's like, if you did that for enough people, or, you know, some sort of shit, you know, could, you know, would that be able to offset, like, you know, would that help out? And then like some of the people that aren't paying, maybe that helps them out. And so now they can start paying on their stuff. Like, I don't know, like, it just is kind of weird to me, like how much money they spend on like banks and these corporations. But, you know, when it comes to us, where it's like, you know, how many millions of dollars they're spending, and then, you know, how many families could they financially like forgive, you know what I mean, for certain shit? How many, what's like the numbers? You know what I mean?
You know, I don't even think you have to go to forgiveness, because there's people who are going to be like, well, fuck them. If they fucking put themselves there, they should pull themselves up by the bootstraps, all this bullshit, right? You could just enable people. Like, let's say, oh, hey, corporations, fuck all these tax breaks that are bullshit that you're hoarding money with.
Yeah.
We're going to take that money and we're going to put it back into fixing the housing market, because shit's so inflated, and all these, like, the sheer fact that so many people commercialized and made a business out of Airbnbs and all these other properties, found tax deductions and all these loopholes to save all this fucking money, especially during a pandemic with PPP loans and fraud and all the shit that happened. Like, a lot of people took that to then transition into real estate or owning Airbnbs or buying and flipping properties. And something like that is inevitably going to fuck the normal person who was just caught up in the pandemic, had to work or couldn't work. And all of a sudden, 5 years later, they want to buy a house. They saved all that money, and houses are 40% more expensive because we pumped a bunch of fucking money into things that weren't actually used properly.
I feel like the people who had to work almost were worse off than the people that didn't. Because I know that like people who are getting unemployment were getting...
Dude, they were balling.
I remember because it was like they were getting their unemployment plus what, like $300 or $500 or something like that, and it was like, I'm like, bro, that's more than you were making before.
Dude, I had several friends and they worked in nursing too, and my buddy was making a fuckload of overtime, and on top of that, when he was technically laid off or unemployed, dude, he was just fucking balling. I thought, like, wow, this is so like different. Because I was 1099 back then too, so I was like, I've never been able to even have unemployment. I'm 1099, so if I don't work, I don't get paid. I'm strictly commission. And seeing that now, I'm like, all right.
Well, and as a comedian, dude, during that time, like
if I would have been able to go all into comedy and been
you could do just like $700 a week. Fucking, you're just traveling, like you're not having to
everything's cheap. Nobody's on the roads, dude. I remember because I was still working back then. I was essential. Shout out. Dude, I'd be hitting 85, 90 regularly on the freeway. Like some mornings, just nobody out. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was a different time. It did feel different, yeah.
Right, but like, we had the ability to make something like that happen. How? A fucking pandemic. That means our government is such that it does allow for a mass, full fucking hard stop on certain things, or to say, hey, like, we have to do this right now. So to do that to corporations and take all that money and go, hey, we're going to actually offer some sort of buyback program with property taxes, for example. We're going to use this to lower property values across the board by 10%. We're going to allocate this amount of money. The rest of the money that we're taking from here, we're going to use to allow you to maybe have tax abatement for 2 years or 5 years, or if it's a really shitty place that needs a lot of growth and incentive, maybe that's 10 or 15 years. You know, there's like ways that you can do this on paper, but it requires taking money that's in corporations' hands. It's taking money from the billionaires, taking money from the most powerful people. How do you convince them? You know, like that's the hard part. It's
well, and then how much of this money is like going towards like fraud and stuff like that? It's like you have all of these like
well, that's why I mean that you have to create a program that can kind of control for that. It's not going to be perfect, but like you can't just give people money back or forgive their debt and allow it to happen again.
Blockchain. But put only this government thing on the blockchain so everybody can see where the money, or you know what I mean, like how the money is being distributed. You know, because U.S. aid and everything. You know, not saying that everything was fucked, but like some of the things were like crazy, like transgender studies and like these weird like third country places.
Yes and no. I'd argue that that's very necessary. I'll tell you why. Because intersex and transgenderism itself is kind of a weird thing that people think is so one way or another, where it's it's an XY chromosome, bro. But then there's also variations where it's XX. And that X is like Turner syndrome, where that X is defective and it's like a little fucking deficient and you don't fully develop like in women.
But they've been around for like thousands of years, don't they? Don't they kind of have their own system of how they?
Yeah, but then there's also when you have 3 X's or XXY and you have an extra X chromosome, or your Y chromosome is deficient, or you only have an extra. Like it just there's weird circumstances that we don't necessarily always know and account for, where there is some sort of weird intersex. And I think that's essentially something worth studying, simply to think like
well, I'm just saying work, like why does like Zimbabwe need a
it might be where it occurs. It's some really rural or concentrated cultures where there's more genetic variations in defects, simply because
where
base pairs and there's not a lot of generic variability, so every once in a while there's a defect, and when it happens in the sex chromosomes, it can create some interesting things worth studying. At least just think about it. If somebody who maybe never hits puberty and has some weird defect in their Y chromosome, and a guy that's very like prepubescent looking, and he lives to be 110 or 120 because he was never like fully aged like that and just had the like body and stress of a kid, not like the full adrenal system of an adult with all that cortisol and the way it ages you. Maybe it changes something about what we know for aging, or the processes that allow for greater aging, right? I sound like I'm trying to farm adrenochrome. But
here it is, adrenochrome. Epstein's Island.
But at the same time,
Tony's trying to sell us on it.
At the same time, there are interesting topics, to me at least, in the sense of, if you understand more about gender, you can also kind of figure out the baseline of a human. So if you did want to have, like, let's say a transgender league, it's like, hey, this is a hodgepodge of all the people with, this percentage of range that we've established. Hey, there's a pattern here. Most people fall in this small bell curve. It accounts for a little bit of outliers. Everybody else is considered a different classification. It's a spectrum, but then it's also in pockets, I guess, of like what you
more allow. More compartmentalized or whatever.
Yeah. But again, with USAID, I'm not an expert on that shit. But people were misrepresenting it as like, they're paying for fucking third world countries to have condoms, saying. And it's like, to stop AIDS. Dude, we don't.
Well, it's like, and that's like why it's like some of the things where it's like it does make sense. It's like, we don't need to. We need to help out where we can in these countries that if they do have like a some type of sexually transmitted disease, help them out, or if they need education on how to grow food, have that right.
What I mean? Well, that's the thing, that it's like we have that in the way of somebody takes over there, creates a system that takes up most of their money and then pays their workers a little bit. We don't have like a franchise model of success. We have like a full ownership where we come in, take over. Like that's the whole imperial system, and it's not like we're saying, hey, like you're great, we want to be great with you. Let's help you make you better. It's hey, this is kind of good. We got a good thing going here. What if I made you better? And then
I wonder, like, you know, all these different countries, you know, we send like people because you know, we're talking about like paying different people in different countries, you know, outsourcing labor and whatnot. I wonder if there's like a way that we can like make a rule where like you have to, I don't know if they already have this, but it's like a minimum wage internationally, or like, you know what I mean? It's like if Apple wants to go, if like if I'm America and it's like, hey, like I'm down for you to go to China and stuff like that, but I don't want you to like fucking, you know, make child slaves.
Right.
And by the way we stop that is by, all right, if you want to go over there, you like
pay
we
them at least this amount.
Yeah, we
Dude,
are.
that's brilliant. I like that.
I don't know if we do that. I don't know if because I don't think I don't know if we have that because I feel like it's just like China says their minimum wage is 2 yen an hour, so that's what it's gonna be, or something like that. But I think like I don't know because I also think that the outsourcing thing is a huge problem. I got so mad at it. I remember when I first started comedy. I don't know how many times I've told this story, but when I first started doing comedy, dude, there was this guy that I was with and he used to sell windows, and he had told me in confidentiality one time that like most of his work he sends to them, like he'll send them all of the information on the windows, they would make PowerPoints, send them back, and then he would just go to the houses and then try to sell windows. And so we were trying to do comedy, and he brought that same energy to comedy. And so we're going through this PowerPoint that he had made for like this thing that we were doing. It was like Neff. And then I don't remember if you remember Robbie DeVore at all. He like long time. He doesn't do comedy anymore, but he does like racetrack stuff now.
Yeah. He comes up on my Facebook all the time.
Yeah. Shout out to Robbie. Good guy. But we were all in a group, and this guy's going through this PowerPoint, and I'm just looking at all of the English errors that he has, and I'm like, man, this guy must have did this last minute. But then it was like syntax errors where it was like bad English, like English. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this doesn't seem right. And then I got mad at him because I was like, bro, you paid the fucking Indians to do our comedy PowerPoint. You're not even involved. What the fuck? I was like, it made me so mad because I was already against like outsourcing in the beginning. And then he told me that. And I was like, bro, get out of my face. I was like, I cannot believe you would do this. But
he didn't use Chat GPT. He used Chat Punjabi.
Yeah, dude. But bro, it's wild because he was telling me, because he said he made like $18 an hour. And he would spend, I think, like a total of like $4 or $5 an hour, like of his paycheck to these people. So he was making $15 an hour to do nothing, pretty much. He would just go to these places, and
what if they didn't buy the fucking windows?
Well, I mean, that was like also, it was like it was still a commission job, so he still had to like sell.
But he got a base pay.
I don't know. I guess.
Okay, because I guess if you had a base pay, you wouldn't be incentivized to sell. You could just kind of coast, and it's like, if they don't buy it, fuck it. But
yeah,
I'm full commission, so it's like, if you don't sell it, don't make money.
Yeah,
which
you've been doing a lot. Well, I probably not recently, or maybe, I don't know. Construction work,
but it's coming back. It's coming back. It slows in the winter. I do all exterior, but
all exterior. That's all you do.
When we were talking about fraud in construction, I mean, there's a lot of that. The biggest thing that was funny to have people realize, because I've seen it happen, granted it's just that subject is closer to home, I guess, but November, December, during the initial ice raids, there was a big story out of Tennessee. I want to say it was around the eastern Tennessee area, of this guy who got all his workers deported because he called ICE on them at the end of this big project. It was the morning of payday, and so they're showing up, getting ready to, collect their checks and clock in, and they just all get fucking booted. And it's like, when you can do that to people, how are you not gonna think, oh, I could just make a fucking snap decision and keep all this money
That's
and
crazy.
fuck all these people who just, it's like
Wow, that's wild.
that's creating the border crisis.
Yeah.
In situations like that, when you have unregulated markets that use immigrant labor that's under the table, you inherently have people that are going to abuse that, and then it's going to have worse consequences.
That's
dude.
like,
It's like
that's why like the whole border thing is like so confusing to me, because it's like a catch-22. It's like, yeah, you want people to like kind of like be able to like move kind of freely, but at the same time you don't want what is happening where it's like, oh, all these people are taking jobs because they are paying them lower amounts, and the idea is that we're supposed to be making more money. Like we were fighting for these higher wages, and these people, are like, hey, I'll come and work for $7 or $10 an hour, and then they have to work 3 jobs. And then, they have busy lives. Dude, Mexicans are like some of the hardest working people that I know.
Yeah,
but it's like, when you're able to take advantage of that, it's just like a whole thing. It's like, why don't you have to pay them minimum wage? You know what I mean? Because if you did, you probably wouldn't hire, you know what I mean? There would be less, it would be, because then if people weren't able to get jobs, they wouldn't come across as often. It would be, and it would figure itself out. But because you're able to pay someone less, that's what's creating the problem. It's not that they're
incentive for people to come.
It's not like they're coming over and just taking jobs. It's like you're breaking the law. Like, you're breaking the law too. Yeah, they might be breaking the law because they crossed the border, but you're also breaking the law by paying them.
Yeah, you're creating
$5.
more of the issue. You're adding and breeding into the problem. And so it's like,
and then think about it like this. Think about if you did pay them like enough, they probably wouldn't have to work 3 fucking jobs, and they probably would be able to pay into becoming a citizen so much faster.
Oh yeah, even that is pretty fucking hard. It takes a while. It's a long process.
That's what I'm saying.
Super expensive, but even that would make sense if the government was like, "Hey, you're already paying into taxes regardless. How about we take 10% of all the taxes from immigrants who aren't going to benefit from Social Security and all these other things until they're actually a naturalized citizen." Let's take some of that money and use it to fund their ability to be self-sustained and become citizens, and then continue to contribute more and more.
It's so wild to me. Like, when I'm at, like, for me, it's like I'm trying to make as much money as possible so I don't have to work as long. And then I work all these jobs where it's like, you meet somebody and they're like, after this job, I have to go to this other job. And then after that, I have another side gig that I'm doing, and I'm doing this so I can send money to my family and also live.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that is so crazy to me. I'm just like, oh, I'm just trying to make money for myself. You know what I mean? Or, now my family, but like, I couldn't even imagine like going to 2 other jobs, know what I mean?
It's like, oh, this first job is for me and my parents. The second job is for my siblings. The third job is for my kids.
Yeah.
All this crazy shit that's like,
it's so wild to me. But like, yeah, I feel like, New Zealand has a pretty good like system. I don't know exactly how it works, but like how it was described to me was that like, you go to New Zealand, you have your visa, you get a job, and then you're working for the job for like, your visa length. And if your job likes you, they will reapply you for your visa. So it's not like you go in and try to like, the job does it. And then if you do that for 5 years, if you work there for, I think it's like 3 or 5 years, I think it's 5, you become a citizen.
That's fucking, like, what a way to pitch that to people. Because that's what I mean with like trade schools or some sort of technical schools or certifications or fucking farms, dude, that need the help. That if you know people that are dependable and know how to like either are skilled in as something as menial as just picking berries, hey, we can certify that this guy can do X amount of tonnage of fruit per week, for you can track productivity that way and give people a way of saying, hey, this person's going to allow your company in the future to make X amount.
Yeah.
We'll give you a tax break if some of that money
It
can
would be
used
so much
to
easier.
fuel them.
It just
Same
doesn't-
thing with like electricians or plumbers or painters, you know, the more high skilled.
It just makes more sense that we would do like an incentivize, like, hey, do good things and we'll give you good things.
Yeah.
But like right now, it's kind of like a, hey, if you do bad things, we might be able to like get you out of it.
Yeah.
Like
if
we're
you
not
have enough money,
you're
you're probably gonna be okay.
But like, yeah, it's so crazy to me. Like, it's just wild. It's so, and it's like, you know, how do we fix it? Because it's like, you know, at the same time, I don't want, you know, illegal immigration, but at the same time, I want everybody to have the chance to like come and live in. That's the whole idea. It's to like come and live in America. Is like, it's a different lifestyle. So it's like, I don't know, like there's things that we could do better. And I feel like, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll figure it out. I don't know what side is the best side to like.
That's why I have that fucking joke, dude, where I'm like, don't even ask me about the border crisis. I'm still on the fence. Like,
Yeah.
Like, fucking understand that there is a level of reform necessary, and some people don't want to admit that because they go, no, and then it's like closing the borders means you're anti-immigrant. It's like, no, it means that I'd like for you not to suffer on your way here. Like, I would like for there to be a way to guarantee not only a safe entry, but a method of getting from your home country where you don't have a lot of resources and opportunities to a place that can give you resources and opportunities and also affords you the ability to get started with it.
But then also another thing that we could also like maybe focus on is maybe stop fucking up these other countries so then they're war torn where everyone's like, I have to go to America because
maybe don't aid Mexico in killing their cartel leader because now there's a civil war breaking out. Maybe U.S.
So do you, I don't know, do you know a lot what's going on with that?
Yeah, they killed one of the leaders of one of the most violent cartels in Mexico.
And this is like this was like the second leader, right? Because didn't the first one die or got murdered?
There's like 8 major drug cartels in Mexico.
Okay.
And this one's the Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación. They're the new generation Jalisco cartel. They were led by this guy named El Mencho, who for a very long time was very renowned as violent, and like they were basically a combination of integrated SEAL trained like Zetas, which are mercenary assassins that were U.S. trained. The CIA went to Mexico to train some of these guys, and they have that mercenary military sort of foundation mixed with an old cartel, the Jalisco cartel. There was a big war. There was like the way back in the early 2000s with like the Knights Templar, the Caballeros Templarios, and that cartel. And that war was led by people who were just like villagers and people in the cities that took up arms to defend themselves against a cartel that was extorting them. When they became powerful, they took a bunch of the same approaches as the cartel, and then they unified with the existing cartel and then became what they are. So there was like a weird level of like fighting back in insurrectionism almost in their approach.
So the CIA cartel.
This isn't just a CIA cartel. This is part of Los Zetas, or and I have to make sure I'm fact checking this, because Los Zetas were trained by military intelligence.
Okay,
and then they were the ones that branched out and created the Knights Templar. Or no, they were the ones that created a cartel, and then the Knights Templar came out in defense to them. And then eventually, after all was said and done, they formed a coalition of a new cartel that was meant to protect the area, and that's why it was kind of accepted and respected. Only their means were like
violent,
very notably violent, more violent.
So Knights Templar was Team Villager, and then and then after fighting for a while, everybody kind of just fused together.
Yeah, let's see if these are the.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I gotta make sure because let me see.
Do you still have family in Mexico?
Yeah, I have my, so let's see. So Los Zetas were, yeah, they live in various different places, but okay, they were the Gulf cartel, Los Zetas, and then part of them are, I believe, where they were fighting back, and maybe it was the Gulf cartel versus the Jalisco cartel that led to the
Okay.
Templars, and then the new generation. Let's see.
So just like a bunch of like breaking up and
Okay, so it
regathering.
is. I was right. Yeah, Los Zetas was the Jalisco New Generation cartel, which is a branch of the Gulf cartel. But they were fractured. There was infighting, and then yeah. Okay, so I
Okay.
was, for the most part, right. You can fucking read for yourself. It's
Wow,
interesting.
interesting. Okay.
But all of the
And where is this happening exactly? Like, is it happening everywhere or?
it's so regionally it would be on the western coast of Mexico, more towards like the middle. So that
So
kind
not
of bottlenecks, but there's like a spot like concentrated kind of in the
okay.
western
Interesting.
quadrant of
All
like
right.
the fat part of Mexico. But yeah, it's just in the states because like the Sinaloa cartel, Sinaloa is right on the border. It's a border town, so it's like a lot of the northern states. The Gulf cartel was obviously in the Gulf of Mexico. They controlled that like peninsula part, and they kind of spread out through the coast. So they're regional
All right.
power
And I
factions.
mean, there's other cartels
Yeah, there's
in Mexico. So
yeah,
it's
there's
like,
smaller ones, but then there's also it acts as almost like a de facto republic of the cartels. Also have
who's like the
government.
biggest cartel?
The I believe
Whatever happened to MS-13?
they so
Like, you remember they were like, wasn't that Obama's time?
so
Wasn't
let
that,
me see.
or was that first Trump time? That might have been first Trump.
MS-13's been a thing for a while. It's almost like Bloods and Crips in the sense of like Sureños, Los Mara, all those were like more local or Mexican kind of like local gangs to like cities, not necessarily organized crime, but it's almost like a distinction in the sense of like I don't know, it's almost ideological because the North Siders were always seen red, North Side 14. A lot of their like looks were more of like the boots and the hats and like very dressed up and like whereas the Sureños were always like more like city like I would call it hype beast gear, like the fucking the Dickies and like the cholo aesthetic.
Okay.
But a lot of that comes from California and what really spread it as far as like Sureños goes. Because like I had cousins here that would claim that and have a very like just made up but real beef with anybody who was considered a North Sider, and they tended to be from different parts of Mexico and different regions. But also
Interesting.
where it really became a thing was in LA in the prison system. That's where like La Familia, which is the Mexican mafia, were tended to be more associated with norteños because it's in the northern states of Mexico where it was created, and they were outed. And I think it was a Sureño leader who was more local to LA that was more I would say Mexican American that created that rift, and then Sureños kind of became their own thing, where it's kind of co-opted with MS-13. Only MS-13 is through El Salvador and like more of like Central America,
Okay.
and they're individual like gangs, but it's like much like Bloods and Crips. There's all these factions, so it's
Yeah.
like it is kind of a thing, but it's also not like as organized like as people would seem to think. Like they're like, oh, MS-13 gang member, and it's like, no, they could just be a guy claiming Sureño from Cali or from New York or here.
It
Like,
makes
it's
you
just-
wonder why they don't have like festivals, like gang festivals. You know what I
Gang
mean? Like,
festivals,
you know what I mean?
dude.
Like,
Yeah, you
like-
mean a fucking car meet?
This is like everybody gets together and just like kind of everyone has like a little booth set up and like, hey, we're the MS-13s, we're the new generations.
And what everybody's what they're
I don't know. Maybe you
They're-
have your different materials that
their
that you're known
organic
for.
artisanal fucking merchandise is cocaine and marijuana
Hey,
and
you-
homegrown meth. Dude.
Hey,
Like,
hey, who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's like
no, what would I think be interesting is if there was almost like a suggestion box from the cartel to the U.S. to be like, hey, look at these intelligence operatives. Hey, look into these people. Hey, you know who helped us traffic arms here and get all these fucking illegal, fully automatic, semi-automatic rifles? You know who armed us? Take a look at these people. It'd be nice if they just slipped us a package of information. Like, I don't know. You could argue the state of the world will collapse if everything in the Epstein files is revealed. But like,
the craziest thing is that the thing that everyone is talking about right now is that like the 2001 files haven't been released and they think that. But my thing is like, if all of this stuff is coming out, what's going to come out in 2000, like for the 2001 files, that is going to make any difference? Like, you know, are you going to grab a gun then, or are you going to stop paying your taxes then? Like, what, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
is it gonna be that much worse that that's gonna be the thing that makes you like, all right?
It might, but the spearhead would have to be New York City, the epicenter of where it happened.
Oh yeah.
To think, hey, the federal government
fucked
you and attacked your city willfully, knowingly. It's like Tulsa in the fucking 19
or like Flint when they didn't fix their water.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then they tried to like.
There have been active, I guess, aggressions or infractions on the people.
Yeah, and
if that lifts the veil and opens your eyes, is that enough to, I don't know, maybe for New Yorkers?
Because I mean,
like,
what
people here won't give a shit that much. They'll be like, oh, again, we knew it. It was
so
an inside job, and then they'll post about it on Instagram.
So it's mayor and then governor, right? Governor's like the dude. Is he like the New York governor? He's like very powerful, isn't he?
Yeah, but
do you think that he could like start something?
Yeah, but he could also shut it down because cities are led by mayors, and it was New York City, so it'd be up to like Mamdani to convince people to go, hey, we're gonna go fight the government. You know, like, no, he's like, for as likable and great as he is, and as much as like the change that he's enacted, like, for him to all of a sudden become a revolutionary.
What's his background? Is he
Zoran Mamdani?
Yeah,
he's
where's he from?
From New York. He's Indian. He's Indian.
Oh, Indian. Okay. Yeah. Damn it, dude! It would have been awesome if he would have been like Iraqi, dude. Dude, that would have been fucking crazy because guys,
we're no longer infidels. This is not for faith. This is for country.
Dude, dude, because not only did they attack New York City, but then they forced you to attack us. That would have been crazy. Yo, man.
That'd be funny.
The script writers missed a beat on that one, dude.
It does feel like a script at times, though, to think like what world news were we spoon fed, and like there's ties to Princess Diana's death, and like that became such a big thing, and it's like, if you create this weird zeitgeist where people are like, oh,
Michael Jackson, dude,
the shadow government, oh, there's people, the Illuminati, oh, there's all these people, and you have this mysticism of what these world leaders are and what they can do to you. It shrouds them in a smoke.
Yeah.
That you fear everything.
And then you have fucking aliens.
Yeah.
On top of all that.
But if you had full transparency and you just shed light on everything, you were like, oh, we know exactly who these people are. Like when a whistleblower from Boeing dies all of a sudden, or Virginia Giuffre, how do you say her last name? The first accuser that tied Mar-a-Lago, like Epstein and Trump. When she all of a sudden died of suicide after fucking the Epstein trial started. It's like, the more people are convinced, hey, we know who these people are, we know their incentive to, or their motive to take somebody out, the harder it is for them to hide. The less we fear them because we know exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Like, the most vulnerable thing is to be exposed. If you're a billionaire and you're in the public light, you're exposed. Why is Les Wexner in a fucking mile-wide perimeter in New Albany? Because he doesn't want to be exposed.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand how you can get people to allow it to just come crumbling down and go, no, like, we need to have transparency, because so many of them will say, this is overreach and this is fucking blah, blah. And it's like, we're already overreaching. Like, ICE has contracts with all these fucking cameras, traffic cameras. Amazon security cameras, like all this shit where they're constantly scanning. That's not just a database for us.
Did you see?
For me, it's for everybody.
Did you see the that Ring is doing like pet finders now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like looking into it, and everybody was saying that like, don't get it twisted. They're not using this on pets because they'll scan pets, but they're also scanning humans because they have to find out if you're a pet.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And so then it's like if all the rings can start scanning, you know what I mean? You can get a pretty accurate like timeline of like, oh, he drove 12 miles an hour down the road. Oh, he stopped
collecting that.
Yeah. Oh, he stopped at the house and grabbed something from their mailbox and then just drove right home. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like stuff like that. It's like things are getting weird, dude.
Yeah, the Big Brother surveillance state's already here. People want to deny it and then blame overreach and we can't do that because that would violate my privacies that I already clicked in the fucking terms and agreements to sign away.
Yeah,
like terms and conditions. Like I agreed to sign it away, and I'm gonna sit here and pretend like I'm not letting it happen.
And then the Patriot Act, like we signed all of our rights away with that, like with the phone calls and everything. Like we did it so long ago, and most of us.
Holy shit! Wait, that's the incentive for 9/11.
Yeah,
that's why you.
Yeah.
Because obviously, it was a consequence, but it's like, hey, if somebody like Epstein's worried about getting caught up, it's like, hey, you know what'd be real convenient is blocking our files.
Yeah.
And if you pitch that to enough people and force them to go, this is a good idea, then, okay, you give me something to fucking sit and go down a rabbit hole about later. Well, this fucking...
Well, because because like with the Patriot Act, the thing that's like super crazy is like how entrenched like us and Israel's like government is, and how much like they have access to our stuff, like information and metadata and everything. And it's kind of crazy a little bit, like, and that's a safe haven, you know what I mean, like for a lot of people who want to do some sketchy stuff. So, you know, I don't know if like, you know, we're going to find out that there's a secret group of people who are, you know, running things behind the scenes, but no clue.
Are you still good on time? I'm still good. I was just
I was just making sure Mom wasn't texting me, but yeah, you're good.
Same, yeah.
So, what have you been up to recently? Like, you've been doing lots of working out. Do you do shows? Do you do like competitions?
No bodybuilding shows or anything. The last time I competed in powerlifting was probably 2 years ago. That's what I would do, just powerlifting competitions. I still train a lot, but a lot meaning like 3 to 4 times a week at best.
That's still quite a bit. That's most of the week.
Dude, I used to go fucking 6 days a week. I'd go 6 days and then off, and then 7 days, and then do like an active recovery on the 7th, so it wouldn't be fully off, and then 6 days and then off. So I would like,
wow,
in 2 weeks I'd have one off day technically.
Okay.
And now I'm like, in 2 weeks I might go to gym 5 times, 6 times if I'm lucky. But it's just because life is different.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more responsibilities, which is good, but also, dude, I just fucking powerlifting sucks ass.
Like, how's dad life, dude?
Dad life's good.
Nice.
Fucking...
Being a dad's fun. You do a lot of fun dad things with the kids.
I try to, but I feel like because it's tough to find a thing that both kids will enjoy without like fighting or doing shit. So it's like sometimes it's hard to really.
Are you accepted?
Like, yeah,
nice.
Kind of. Yeah, you know.
Kind of.
Yeah, the younger one, she'll like sometimes say some shit that like cuts my soul, and I'm like,
oh,
I was the right one, the last one, the last one in this family. You're right.
I'll stop pushing you on this swing.
Yeah, no, dude, I've thought that before. I'm just like, shit, dude. I have to say all that, but like. I don't know, like the one really like soccer and throwing the football, so it's like he'll be on Fortnite constantly, but like
nice
shit like that. That's like the normal, like you'd see it in a movie, like playing catch with dad, like that. You don't realize how much kids value that until you go, oh, they actually are like smiling and not like fucking miserable because somebody that's a pro gamer like fucking beat them in Fortnite. You know, it's like there's little shit like that, or even helping them like read or fucking do homework that's like, this is cool. It's rewarding to see like a positive impact that's like lasting. That's not like, okay, like this is a basic life skill, but then also shit like just I cook all the time, so like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's important to show kids that like mom and dad aren't responsible for one thing or the other. That it's just like, oh yeah, my parent is responsible for the same thing that the other parent's responsible for. Like it's just.
And those are, and I feel like, I mean, I don't know because mine's not that old yet, but like, you know, I feel like those are fun ages because it's like there's a lot more cognizance right there, so like you can like have a smaller conversation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, things make a lot more sense, but also it's harder with the younger one to like really like sometimes like things are too complex and you're kind of like it's tough to say.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, sometimes it's
because right now right now there's no conversation.
Just fucking being wacky, you know? But like no, that is the cool part when you see them develop. Like the younger one has like, dude, she's a sniper with fucking jokes sometimes. Like she's funny, and so it's like every once in a while, it's like, what the hell did you just say?
I'm
like,
gonna write that down.
Yeah, oh, dude, for sure. Yeah, I was like, yeah, all right, dude, this I made a bit out of this because this was good.
Shit.
Like,
you gotta pay royalties though now.
Nah, man, just your royalty is you have a stepdad.
Do you got any shows or anything coming up anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm fucking bad at looking at all my shit. What's today? So,
today's Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
24th. What do I have? I know I got shit coming up. I'm doing roast battle at the Attic this Thursday. I took the 28th off. I declined 2 shows, but then Ludi's Art Gallery, the 6th, March 6th. That one's gonna be dope.
All right.
That one's with Murph Henderson and Amber Falter. That should be fun.
Oh shit! And
doing
Murph
the
heads out to Murph, or shout out to Murph. He just did a set for freaking Cam Patterson at the Funny Bone.
Shout out Murph.
Yeah, dude.
I'm doing the Attic Cash contest at the Attic Comedy Club, of course.
All right.
I'm in Parkersburg, West Virginia, on March 20th.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, dude. I have some more shit. I'm just
no, you're good.
Comedy Club, March 27th. I'm with Ray Jackson, March 26th at Oregon Express in Dayton. There's a few others. I gotta look at my calendar. But
do you have a place, like a link to like where people can get tickets and stuff? Or
you know what? I'll update this tonight so that it's up to date before this goes up. But I had a link tree. I was good for like 3 months. In the last 2 years, for 3 months solid, dude, I had all my shows, and then like 1 month I had like 17 that I was booked for.
Wow.
Yeah, last November I did 17 shows. I was like, this is fucking sick. I made good money.
Yeah, damn.
Decent money.
Hey,
enough. I made enough
for comedy.
For comedy, when I'm like, $50 a spot, $100 here, $300 there, $200 here. Like
exactly.
Like, eventually, it's enough to be like, all right, this.
And every time you're like, man, I think I'm gonna make it,
Dude,
and then
I have hope,
and then you don't get booked the next month, and you're like, fuck, like,
yep.
Like I feel just like
then you gotta tell yourself it was deliberate to be like, no, this is the month that I'm working on material.
Yeah. I'm coming up with new stuff, guys.
Yeah, guys, you're gonna get tired of me. Like that's the one thing though. I don't go to as many open mics because when I was first single for a year and a half, dude, every fucking night, nonstop, as many mics as possible, all over the place. Going to Chicago, going to fucking Nashville, fucking Austin. It sucks ass eventually to like drive yourself to the point where you're like, these are just open mics though. So then like when I took a step back and I was like, I already get paid to do 30. I have 10, 15, 20 that's fire. I'm proud of. I want to keep this and make my jokes grow to that quality. And then maybe I can get to 40 minutes and 30 of it's great. And then maybe I can get to an hour and 45 is great.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of been my metric to just keep stepping up. But at the same time, you can't get there unless you go to a show and then you get to go to another show and you're doing long sets and fully like with the crowd.
Yeah.
Because sometimes an open mic is just open micers, dude, and it's soul crushing. And it's like I've done this for 7 years.
I literally was just telling him.
Bobby's a goon, man. And he's doing what I did. He's stugging it out. That's what's gonna make you good.
But you know what? And I don't want you to take this the wrong way because it's a compliment. But and I haven't told you this yet. But like the thing that Tony was known for when he first started was that he literally had it was just 5 minutes. Like literally he would just go up and he would do the exact same 5 minutes, and it was that way for so long.
I changed it a little bit, man.
But yeah.
Everybody says exact same. It
But
was the same template.
I could have done his set.
Yeah.
Like I could have done a set.
You used to. I think
Yeah.
Jeff Ladala too. People used to recite my set to me. And I'd be like,
here's
oh,
the deal though. But here's the deal. Because he locked down 5 minutes so well, and you become so comfortable in that 5 minutes, then when you're doing a 5 minutes at a guest spot or a show, all of a sudden it turns into 6 because things happen, and then you build upon it.
Yeah,
and then
you saw all the fucking contests or like the Wednesday night jokes and all the other shit
like,
that I did at the Funny Bone.
You are like literally traditional comedian growth, and it's like it's perfect. Like because when I used to work with I used to work with like Austin Robertson, he pointed at you a lot, and he was like you need to be doing what he's doing. You need to be working on, because as a new comedian,
dude, shout out Austin.
Yeah, dude, shout out to him.
Book me again, please. I miss you, dude. I'm so much better than 2.5, 3 years ago when you used to regularly book me and take me on the road, dude. I promise, I'm so much better.
Same, but dude, it's so funny because he would always point at you, and he's like, because as a new comedian, why are you focused on working on new material all the time?
Everything's
like,
new.
Yeah, it's like you need to be focusing on getting laughs and like figuring out how to make laughs. And once you do that, and like once you get that 5 minutes, that's when you can start moving outside the box. But you have to fill that 5 minutes first.
And it also wasn't like, oh, he's doing the same fucking bullshit 5 minutes. It was like, I went to competitions, dude.
Yeah.
I went to like I remember the first time I did Wiley's fireworks competition, and I met Jarrell Beeman, and he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He's like, dude, your writing was just boom, boom, nonstop.
Exactly.
Like rapid fire. I'm like, yeah, I've been trying to do that 5 minutes for the last 3-4 months, tweaking it more, listening back, going, oh, I cringed here. Oh, I lost interest here. Oh, this needs a punchline.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I forgot to say this. And it's like, it's the same. Like, nobody writes a fucking rough draft and goes, this is perfect. This is great. And people want to act like stand-up isn't also writing. It is. It's like performing. It's writing. But also doing 5 minutes, it's like doing the same combination of fighting. And eventually you get fluid and you get loose and you go, oh, I can sidestep and do this. Or, oh, I can throw a spinning kick from this side because I know where my balance is. It's like, it's the same fucking thing. You just apply it step by step by step, and people don't like it because to some people it looks lazy, or they tune out and they go, I've seen this before, oh, this sucks. Or what's worse, dude, when you start killing with it and then people are like, well, that's all you got. That's all you got. Oh, all I got is 5 minutes that won me $300. Okay, I'm gonna go do that and get paid for the next 4 fucking months. Like,
well, and so then that's what I was telling him. I was like, if you're at an open mic that's just comedians, dude, you have so many things that are working against you, because it's like, one, everyone's like, I should be on that stage. So no one's like, unless the joke you tell is so completely funny, or they are fucking with you, you know, or not fucking with you, but like friends, like they're not probably going to be laughing. Like you have to have real life audience members.
You also have to remember that some comedians are neurotic and scared, and they're just like, it's not that they're being rude, but they're just kind of, fuck, like, what am I going to do? And they freak out internally, and instead they just look down at their phone.
Yeah.
Or they're just looking at you but not really tuned in, because
some of them are jealous, some of them are, you know, oh, that's all you got, you know what I mean?
And
it's
some
like,
of them are also studying you. That's the weird part. Some people just like watch and kind of like, oh, where's he? Oh, I've seen this. That was new. And
see, like, I feel like that's, you don't catch me laughing a whole lot unless they're like super funny, but like I do that where I'm like watching, like, because like one of the things that I find interesting is just everyone's cadence.
Yeah.
And like how like sometimes just cadence can be funny, and how like, you know, I could say something but then you put it in somebody else's mouth and they say it just because the way they
it's
pause.
Just more rhythmic, or it's like, oh, they just were very blunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
exactly. So yeah, I do that all the time where I'm like watching them and I'm like, oh wow, they tried a different line and that line worked. Or watching a joke and it doesn't work and you're like, huh, like Tony always does that joke. Like why didn't it work this time?
It also teaches you though, because like as somebody who's done a bunch of shows in the road now, and like I go to a bunch of different places with ranging audiences, and every now and again I go, I know this type of joke isn't going to work with this type of crowd for this reason. Yeah. And sometimes I'm completely off. And then I'm like, whoa, holy shit, I was off. And then I have to like readjust in the moment and go like, why did that bomb? Or how come that crushed so hard? Or
Yeah.
I said immigrant and they fucking applauded. Like, ugh. Like, what the fuck? I'm
Where
about
were
to
you,
make
in
a
Portland?
joke, dude.
Were you in Portland?
No, Gahanna, dude. I was doing Next Stop Gahanna. Granted, this was like 3-4 weeks ago, right after, some of the ICE shootings. So they were like really trying to stand in solidarity,
Yeah.
But like I was doing like the whole, I'm an immigrant. If there's a line, we're going to cross it. I was doing that joke. And when I said I'm an immigrant, usually I pivot hard and like say the punchline quickly. But I said, I'm an immigrant, and somebody went, woo! And I looked up, and they started clapping, and I was like, this threw me off completely.
Dude.
I'm like, don't give me too much credit, because immigrants, if there's a line, we're going to cross it. And I said it, but like it was
But
just
that's like one of those growing moments, though, because it's like, who knows? That might happen more often. Like,
it is.
Yeah.
Dude, the tide has turned so much, and I'm just like, I used to go to all these shows out, like Trump banners and all these fucking flags and huge cornfields that would have like 2 or 3 or the fences lined with them.
Yeah, but I'm just talking like just in terms of the joke. Like now you might have like another thing that you might have to go, like a little side, because if you say, immigrant, I am an immigrant, and people are like, woo, and now you could say something. Now you can like
then I could be like, oh, what, you guys aren't doing Uber?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys aren't Amazon warehouse workers? Like, okay, your jobs are safe. Like,
yeah, you could do something that's like yeah.
Oh, you're not doctors, right? Because there'd be more Indians here, and like you guys are cheering. No,
dude, yeah, you could, yeah, but yeah,
it's like the dumb shit of like, somebody's got good housekeeping,
Yeah, but like, because who knows, that might happen more often. But as a new comedian, if you're always trying new shit, you're not gonna get those moments. You're not gonna figure it out.
Yeah, it's almost like you get different tools, and you can't tell how that tool works.
Yeah.
If you don't keep using it, and this fucking hammer also has a sharp edge that I can just fucking hack at people like an axe with, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, I use that to like for a metaphor simply because I had a joke that kept ending and it was very blunt and I was like, it's kind of smart and kind of funny, but like it's not that like salacious or big of a pop.
Yeah.
And I doubled down more and it was like, that's kind of a little bit better. And then one day randomly I was just like, this is a huge risk, but like fuck it, this joke's already kind of like mid. It just kind of crescendos and goes stale. And it ripped. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that was a year and a half of the same fucking joke. It used to be like a quick little setup punch. And then it became my like closer of like, okay, I did my most offensive jokes. And y'all are still on board. So I'm going to do the worst one I have. And then it's that one. And then with the whole Epstein thing, I found a way to flip it again and double down and kill even harder. And I'm like, all right, that's...
So yeah, but like as a new comedian, that's like something that you should really be like looking out for is like do the same material. You know what I mean? Put some new stuff.
Do the same material in front of different crowds.
Yeah,
that's the key. In front of comedians, either do the same material with new tags or a new ending or a new set of delivery, something where it's changed so that they don't immediately tune out and go, oh, I've heard this before.
Yeah. Until
it's good. And once it's good, they'll kind of go through the motion. Oh, yeah, here's the beat, here's the laugh.
Yeah.
But if they have a tag for you because they know the beats, that can also happen.
Yeah.
Or they go, oh, wait, I thought you were going to say this. Or why didn't you say this? And it can help spur the joke even more. It's
like comedians can be very helpful if everybody...
If they want to be.
Yeah, if they want to be. Yeah. But... All right, Tony, where can everybody follow you?
I'm at Tony B. Cruz on Instagram, X, Twitter, if that's still in use, Threads, YouTube. I think it's all Tony B. Cruz.
Okay,
for the most part. Even Facebook. Yeah,
we'll make sure that we put links in there for everything. Dude, I appreciate you for coming out.
Fun, dude.
Dude. Yeah, we were going. We were fucking going.
Bullshitting about bullshit, man.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next episode.